Hello and welcome to the Team Aster podcast. My name is Vortex. I'm the host, and I'm here with the other host, Fatal. With us today, we have Midi and Polar. Midi, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Midi. I am part of Aster's staff team. I don't know how, but here I am. I play CSGO competitively, and I used to play Critical Ops for DYG.
How about you, Polar?
Polar, I'm also a staff member here, as you already know. I don't know how I'm staff either, but we are. I played for the Critical Ops team competitively. Then I also just play a bunch of games non-competitively, which would be Wild Rift, Rocket League, and I'm a FNAF fanatic.
Pretty solid.
Yeah.
I mean, so as the audience, you guys can guess, today's subjects, for the most part, for the beginning at least, is going to be about staff life, about what it's like being staff at Aster. The fact is, we actually still have applications open for. We still have applications open for staff positions. Whether, we have GFX positions open, we still have server staff positions open, operations team staff positions open. Both the people we have here today are Midi and Polar. They're both server staff. So, guys, what's it like being part of, the Aster fam? What's it like being here?
Good.
Well,
Good.
so
Romance is good, bro.
think of it like this. Think of it like this, though. You're listening to Spotify, you're listening to your favorite playlist, right? And your favorite song keeps coming on. It gets a little annoying, but it's still your favorite, right? That's how I feel about the Aster fam. It's a family. It's welcoming. You hop on every day. You're greeted with beautiful men. It's just a vibe. It's just an all-around positive vibe.
Alright, you don't listen to women on Spotify?
No, who does that?
I do. What do you mean?
Hey, I listen to women on Spotify. We have women in our staff team.
We respect women. Do we have women on our staff team?
Well, we do have a woman on our staff team. Remember Flame? Flame is a woman.
My bad.
You can't call Flame a woman.
But he is.
I mean,
God, I swear to God. No,
it's qualified.
No,
Break.
I swear to God. We can't have nice things here. So,
Vortex is broken.
so when you guys, if you guys weren't staff here, if you guys, didn't get to see the members chat, Aster chat, all the good goods, what would your guys' first impression be of Aster, and why do you think it'd be different from, why you guys are your guys' view as staff?
Well, when you first join the server, you're greeted with people, right? Right off the bat, we're probably gonna have a few staff members greet you, kind of say hi to you, see how you're doing. That's probably the most important part. That's step one of getting to know someone. And I think this is, especially the Aster server, is a fantastic community. When you come in, you can just chat with someone right away. We're always happy to have you here, right? And we're stoked. We just want to have a nice conversation with you, and it's all around positive vibes.
So yeah, it's not too much judging. We don't
judge.
Man's got
Anyone
the
with
skills
her.
in his mouth.
Hey, we don't judge. We don't judge. Don't judge.
No, it's earlier. It's earlier on the first. No, it's earlier on the first recording, Midi, when you had the Pop-Tart in your mouth and he called you out.
No, man.
How many recordings have we had so far?
I think 3
2.
or 4. Well, we had that one in the middle. We had that one in the middle because of Fatal.
Because of who? Because of who? Because of who? Because of who?
Because of who?
Hey, baby.
Because Fatal's
Yeah,
Nah, but for real, I'm gonna peel off. I mean, we have an amazing staff team. We have an amazing founders team. We have an amazing CEO. We have an amazing management team. If we could pull in the content creation that I wish we had, the players, we have an amazing Crash Royale team. If we could pull in the other Counter-Strike, Valorant players, PC players, console players, mobile players that I wish we had, this team right now could be a tier 1 team overall. Because just how our management team is set up, and I don't care what you say, every team has to have an amazing management team. And this team right here has an amazing management team. Whether it be from Discord staff all the way up to founders, CEOs, amazing funders setting up our websites. Wink, wink. I wish I could wink, but we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, I mean, we have a new website. It's not up yet. Obviously, it's not going to be up till the org overhaul. But I mean, it's looking pretty sexy right now.
It does.
It does look. It's looking pretty sexy. Thunder's doing an amazing job with that. But I mean, that's just something you got to tune in for. I mean, for the org overhaul, which, just a reminder, is coming out the 22nd. It's coming up pretty fast. We actually have less than a month now. By the time that I post this podcast, it'll be about 3 weeks out until the org overhaul launches. And I mean, we have a bunch of content. We have a bunch of new players, staff coming out.
Are we getting a new logo? Are we getting a new shirt? Can I buy a new jersey? Can I buy?
We are, but that's not public information yet, though. So.
Wait, what are we getting? I don't know. Are we getting a new website? Are we getting a new team? What is this?
This is why we can't have nice things. No, but on a serious note, though, I mean, we do have a lot of things in the works right now. We actually just talked with our staff team a couple hours ago in a meeting about, the kind of stuff that we're bringing. We have a lot of plans, especially for our community. We're looking to revamp our community, get it a lot more active, just like our OG days where it was like extremely active. Luckily we have amazing people like Flame, Fresh, Mitty, Polar, Cooper, everybody on our team right now. We're, trying to get everything ready, get it in the works. But
yeah, we're gonna do giveaways. We're gonna have active staff because MIDI has no life. Wink, wink.
Hey, Discord is my life. Get it right.
No, but
we're gonna have active staff. We're gonna have giveaways. My goal is to do every Friday, Saturday. We're gonna have a new point system set up with a new community. So every month, you could win $15, $20, $30, whatever it may be. And if you participate in our giveaways, if you participate in our monthly Saturdays, monthly Fridays, I don't know how it's going to be set up just yet with this new, how it's right now as of today of the 27th, whenever this podcast gets put out. But by then, by the 1st or 2nd, I believe this podcast is coming out New Year's. By the 1st, we will have been decided, and we will have a calendar set out by the 15th, and you will be able to see how our point system is set up, what dates we have set up for the month of February. Everything's going to be set up for this community. I really want to push community-wise. I really want to push how amazing you guys are. You guys make us us. Like, we wouldn't be here without you guys, honestly. I mean, I can't speak for everybody else, but I can speak for myself. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys.
No, but on another note, though, is for anybody that'd be looking to apply to be staff here at Aster, I mean, what would your guys' words of advice be to them? Whether it's towards actually applying itself, or let's say they get accepted and they are trial staff. What would your guys' word of advice be to them?
Well, obviously, don't lie. Obviously, gotta be truthful, be honest on the applications. And if you do get in, make sure you're respectful, treat others how you want to be treated. Just be nice, provide a nice vibe, be mature, yeah.
You can be
supposed to. You can crack a few jokes. We won't take it to heart. Just don't go overboard. Know when to stop. Know where the line is.
Yeah, there has to be like a line because a lot of us have been together for at least almost everybody here has been with each other between 5 to a couple years now. Like everybody's known each other for a while, so we've kind of blurred the line a little bit. But we're so close together, we know when we need to be professional and when it's time to hang out in VC at 2:00 in the morning and mess around. I mean, we know the difference. we know the difference, but I mean, just know when to when either is the right time.
Honestly, like Vortex said, like Vinny and Polar said, we've all been together for a decent amount of time. We've all known each other. Yes, know the difference. Know when to be mature. Like, that's my number one. I don't care how old you are. If you apply, if you're 12, if you can be mature. I've met 12-year-olds that are more mature than 17-year-olds, 20-year-olds. If you can be mature, holy God, you're amazing. I really want you on my Discord staff. We really want you. Like, I'm the only owner here. I sound like you. You're amazing. I love you, Mitty. If I could give you a clap how amazing you've been doing, if I could give you a clap how amazing Polar's been doing, I really can't express how amazing our Discord staff is. Like, if I could gift every one of you guys, I would. I physically can't, but I'll just give you hugs and kisses.
Let's not do that.
It's not. No, we can't do that because COVID. That's
COVID.
Exactly. 6 feet, bro.
COVID 60. You gotta
Get
go.
away from me.
COVID 16, COVID 19.
No,
but
but,
for real though, you guys are amazing, and I really can't thank you enough, and I really can't thank our Crash Royale team enough. You guys, Crash Royale, I'm gonna do a fast shout out. You guys been amazing. I've been watching you guys in shadow. I've been listening to you guys from Vortex. From your managers. You guys been amazing. Probably one of the best pickups we've had in a while. And I'm really happy you guys are with Team Aster and Aster Esports if we go forward. I can't thank you guys enough.
No, I mean they really have. I mean we've literally been only taking W's. Like literally, we've only took dubs. Like I think right now our win percentage is like 92%, and we're up against some of the the top teams teams in the scene right now, and it's insane. I mean,
That's pretty high.
it is pretty high. I mean, we're I think there's only been a couple of teams that we haven't actually played yet, let alone beat. It's pretty insane.
Take what you got. Take what you got.
But actually, earlier, Fatal mentioned CS:GO, which we did promise on the last podcast that we would talk about today in today's podcast. And so luckily we actually have a CS:GO almost pro. Missed one game from Global Elite here today with us in the podcast. Today here in the podcast, we also have...
First of all, to build my reputation, right? Build my ego. Face it level 10, Supreme Master, okay? And now I was on a 19-win streak. I lost one game, and I'm back to LEM. Okay? Game is trash. Don't blame me. Anyways, so yeah. Let's talk CS.
Let's talk CS.
Let's
talk CS.
How's the scene doing right now?
Well, if you're talking about NA scene, it's quite obviously dead, right? For an NA fan like Polar, it's quite sad, obviously. But for EU fans, for CIS fans, Navi fans like me, super stoked, man. Navi era, finally here after years.
Honestly, I'm gonna cut you off, Mitty. I'm sorry, I love CS, but as a former CS, I play CS. I said CIS. I don't know why I said CS, but as a former CS player, I gotta go into Valorant. I'm gonna drag us into Valorant every time we talk about CS. Valorant has it. Valorant's gonna win it.
That's because you're not good at CS. That's why you went to Valorant.
That's why I went to Valorant. Are you gonna talk about the mini Counter-Strike pros to win into Valorant?
Listen, all the washed up pros, all the washed up CS pros.
Win into Valorant.
How many of them washed off pros said, you know what?
How many pros did you make washed up?
And all the content creators,
None, because I'm a pro.
all the content creators left CS:GO to go to Valorant as well. It's not just
Valorant,
the players.
Yeah, it's not. It's just not even a player. It's just the content creators. How amazing Valorant is right now. How they support. I love CS. I've been in CS, but did they actually listen to the community? Maybe Counter-Strike. Few times. You're right. How many times had Valorant listened to the community? Run and gun was so OP. I could have a Phantom and I could run and gun and hit you a headshot 15 to 30 meters. Now, I can't even run and gun. Maybe I hit a headshot, maybe. Now Spectre run and gun's kind of OP. Will they listen to the community? Maybe the fourth season, fourth act. I don't know. We'll see. But Valorant is it right now. How they played champs, how they played look at Counter-Strike. What the highest? What did you guys just have? You guys had ESL. Did you guys even have ESL this recent season?
We had.
ESL isn't that big. We had Blast. Blast is bigger.
We had Blast.
Yeah. How much was Blast?
Like
$1 million prize pool.
Blast.
$1 million. All right.
But the viewership though, the viewership is way higher than VCT.
All right. No, just saying. VCT was 200 point whatever. What it was? What is
200 points?
200.10. What was viewership on Valorant? Counter-Strike, sorry.
It's gotta be in the millions.
Not even.
Because For the major, no,
It
for the
broke
major it
records.
was
It
millions,
broke
bro.
CS:GO records for most viewerships. I know that.
Yeah, CS:GO. Well,
Okay.
no, that's false because League of Legends has broke through all the. They haven't broke League of Legends.
Yeah, no,
records
I
yet.
mean
Okay,
like broke the
League
original
and
CS:GO.
Dota is up there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, no,
Dota,
I mean
alright,
like
Dota,
CS:GO
alright,
wise,
don't
like
get
just
me
not talking
wrong.
about other games. The CS:GO, it broke its old like viewership limit.
Yeah. Well,
Dota-
CS had 861,000 viewers.
All right, yeah, okay.
Aim Blast.
Dota right now is cracked. I don't even know how to get into Dota. I don't know Dota. If we have any league players out there, please DM me. Please call me out. I have no idea about Dota.
I play
League,
WoW.
he plays wild.
I play WoW, dude.
Dota right now is so. I've heard Dota's coming to come back, and I don't even know what to say about Dota.
See,
It's insane right now.
the problem is though, is it's in the mobile market, and right now League of Legends just dominates it. I mean, they League of Legends. It's like comparing Mobile Legends to Wild Rift. I mean, Riot has so many more resources, and they've been dominating the scene for years now. I mean,
Then they're just better at listening, better at making a better like UI interface.
yeah, exactly. Dota
Controls them.
it may make a comeback, but it's never going to beat out League of Legends. That's just not at the current rate, at least. Maybe Dota
But
3.
it'd still be nice to see it though come back and bring in another competitive scene though.
Well, I mean, you're right. Dota is Dota. Whether it be Counter Strike, Dota, it's not going to compare to Riot. Riot, if you realize how big Riot is and how many teams they have working on League of Legends and Valorant, if you realize that just by itself compared to Counter Strike, compared to Dota. I mean, yes, we can compare Dota to League of Legends. We can compare Counter Strike to Valorant. Counter Strike made Valorant. If you really think about it. League of Legends made Dota. If we really think about it.
Well, see, that's where the falsity comes in, because Dota came out before League of Legends.
Right.
But League of Legends built up the MOBA brand. League of Legends built up the MOBA brand.
Yeah.
If we're talking about mobile, yes. Sorry, I should have corrected myself there. Yes, you're right. But if we're gonna talk about like mobile wise, is there a mobile CS? No. Is there gonna be a mobile? Is there gonna be a mobile Valorant? Yes. Valorant mobile is in the works. It's in talks. I believe 100% there's gonna be a Valorant mobile. As of seeing, Valorant leak it out, as of seeing all these players and people leak it out, I believe there is going to be a Valorant mobile. Whether it be this year, next year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, yes, there's going to be a Valorant mobile. Yeah. Is there going to be a Valorant, is there going to be a mobile CS? No, there's not going to be. I mean, how many years are we into CS? We're in 14 years of Counter-Strike.
Yeah. And we still haven't even made another Counter-Strike game itself.
Right. And within another Counter-Strike game itself, yes, you're right. Do we still have a mobile game? No.
We've been through CS, CS Source, CS:GO, and they haven't even thought about even touching the mobile scene yet.
Right, and how much money they're missing from the mobile scene? Like, think of all the COD mobile players. Think of all the PUBG players. How many of those players would actually love to kill it in the Valorant scene or the mobile, CS:GO scene? If there was a CS:GO, if there was a CS:GO Source scene in actual mobile, think about that.
I mean, actually,
I promise you, every one of those players would probably be playing Counter-Strike Mobile.
This past
year, I feel like if they did it right, it could definitely be a very good game if they have the right dev team behind it. Because that's kind of what depends on, in my opinion, for a mobile type area. It depends on what the dev team is. Because we've had basically Counter-Strike.
Well, it's not
version,
actual dev.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not actual dev from whoever makes the game. Like if Counter-Strike Riot, from actual Riot, if it was Dota, actual Dota players, Dota devs that actually made the game. I don't believe it's just devs that make the game. And as a player, I believe it's a player that makes the game. Players know more than the devs. Well, the devs code the game. They do everything, the graphics-wise for the game, but they don't actually play the game. If you're a player like Mitty, I'm going to call you out right now. If you're a Counter-Strike player and you play the game, how many flaws could you point out in Counter-Strike right now?
First of all, let's talk about jump bug. There's strike bug. There's crouch bug.
There's
pixel jumps.
If you could change that as a dev, would you?
No, I would not. I would keep it in the game.
Why? Why would
because it adds a new competitive aspect to the game. It makes it more competitive. If you can master those quote unquote bugs, right, you can really use it to your advantage.
I don't like how the view models have different hitboxes, or it seems like that. I think that's an issue that needs to be
different agent skins, like different agent skins.
Yeah, the different agent skins.
That's what we don't have in Valorant. That's why I feel like Valorant's better. Yes, you're right. I feel like agent skins have different hitboxes. Valorant hitboxes are all the same, no matter what agent you have. That's why I feel like Valorant right now is just taking over Counter-Strike. Now, if Counter-Strike made the right adjustments, yes, Counter-Strike could have a positive comeback and make the right adjustments.
Although,
I mean, yes, the game is 15 years old. Counter-Strike Go. If we're going to talk about Counter-Strike Go.
But it's still doing very well.
Well, it's still doing very well.
Right.
I mean, as it currently stands, actually, CS:GO still has more players per month on a basis than Valorant does. But that
You're
could,
right,
but,
yes.
but that could be just due to the fact that it has like so many more years over Valorant.
Yeah.
Yes, you're 100%.
And then just, I think more people see Valorant as a competitive type game and not like more of a casual like game.
But
Well, honestly, as a Valorant beta player, I didn't play alpha. I didn't play any high stake beta. I played like late beta. I think I played the last few hours of beta before it even closed. Honestly, how it changed the whole. There's too many, in my opinion, as a Reyna player. I used to main Reyna all the time. I could Q, and I could overheal 4 times, and I loved it. How many times they nerf it and buff it and like other characters? I just wish they left it alone and played more towards the actual map wide. Like, there's so many maps that are broken right now. They're not CT sided, they're not T sided. They're just like, they're not right. Like, one might be T sided, one might be CT sided. They're not set right. Like, Haven is 100%. I don't care who you play, 100% T sided because you're attacking 3 different sides. If they made it more CT sided, it would be an even map. Like, that's why are you nerfing characters that are actual maps? That's where I feel like, I don't know. It's just
I think they need to do a mix of the two and not do too much of one.
right. Yeah, that's where it is. That exactly.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm like a Valorant.
I feel you definitely still need to nerf characters, especially if there's like a certain bug or issue or like something unskilled. Because like with MOBAs, because I've played enough MOBAs to have gone through the stages of realizing how broken a character is and waiting to see how long is it going to be before the team actually listens. Which is, we want to talk about Mobile Legends. That was my issue with Mobile Legends, is they didn't listen very well to the brokenness of a character, to where they were broken for months on end before it finally got fixed. And it felt like they just weren't listening. So, for example, when Paquito, which is a fighter character, first came out, you could tank build on him, and he still had the fighter aspect to it, to where he could tank everything in 1v5 a whole entire game.
although
And they fix it very quickly.
I feel like a lot of developing studios, regardless of what genre it is, they have the problem right now where it's they release something. I mean, especially Call of Duty Warzone, they have this problem right now. They release a gun, and then it's so broken, and then they realize it's broken, and then they nerf the holy hell out of it. Like, they literally, like, and then, so, like, you know, it's like there's no in between. They never actually fix anything. It's either, like, a lot of developing studios have the problem of they buff something and it's too strong, and then they'll nerf it later on and it's too weak, and they just bounce back and forth. I mean, Siege had that problem for a while, although Siege has gotten a lot better about, their fixes.
Honestly, if I was a new PC player, if I was a new console player, a mobile player, mobile obviously doesn't have Siege. If I was a new console or PC player, I would go towards Siege. If I was a console player, and if I was a console player, I'd go towards Rocket League. Rocket League right now, I don't play Rocket League. I don't know enough, but I say Rocket League is a decent competitive game you want to get as a console player. Mobile, I would go New State. I would go 100%. See, I would say PUBG New State, and I would say 100% maybe COD Mobile. Maybe. Like, I don't play. See, that's the problem. I'm not a mobile player. You can't ask me about mobile or console. I play PC. Ask me PC, I say 100% Valorant, and I might say lean into Counter-Strike. Maybe. Just maybe.
If you're not NA.
If you're not NA, lean into Counter-Strike. If you're not NA, lean into Counter-Strike. If you're NA, don't go to Counter-Strike. 100% go to Valorant. If you're NA, go to maybe switch it between Rocket League and maybe just RC. Just like
The Legends as well.
Yeah, it's just how it makes.
Yeah, bro. Do Trackmania.
Sharkbait.
Don't
No,
attack, man. They
but I
get the
mean,
record, bro.
speaking of the North American CS:GO scene, we're gonna try to lean it back into CS:GO because that's what the podcast was supposed to be about. Um, the
Valorant became the
CS teams really like the CS scene's not doing so hot right now. I mean, what's your opinion on that, Minnie? Like, break it down for us.
Well, NA's dead, first of all. Second of all, CIS, Navi's dominating every teams. Although, we all know, as a Navi fan, we all know that Navi loves choking. They love choking, but they always manage to bring it back. That's the best part about being a Navi fan, right? So, with the Blast Premier...
I'm gonna cut in. Sorry, I'm Blast Premier. Wait a minute. Is Liquid... I know Liquid on Valorant's EU. Is Liquid on NA or EU on...
I think they're
NA.
NA.
They're probably NA, but I think they still are capable. Like, we can get
they have a
EU.
couple EU players, but like I'm pretty sure they're NA. Yeah, they brought in OCs. I honestly, he's an amazing hopper. I've seen him play in like amateur tournaments, like higher tier tournaments, like tier 2 tournament. I think he's gonna have an amazing time at Liquid. I think he might be the step for Liquid. He might be able to pull it back, maybe bring it Liquid back into what they used to be. Not exactly what they used to be, but just somewhat.
I really do think a redemption to what they used to be.
Is OC going to be like bit for Navi, where OC just takes Liquid to that next level? Because I don't think so though. I
think OC would be more of like Perfecto type of thing with Navi. Well, Perfecto did help the team, but it wasn't just him that brought it to that new level. But he definitely did help the team a lot.
Right. I agree with Polar there.
I think we all agree that Liquid needs a really good, consistent, dedicated AWPer instead of just like an AWPer / IGL that Fallen kind of was for Liquid.
That's the thing. You can't have. This is my opinion. Like, you can't AWP and have an IGL. Like, how are you gonna sit there?
Yeah, you can't do two things at once.
Exactly. That's why I feel like a rifler is more easier. As an IGL, you can say, "Hey, I'm gonna rifle. I'm gonna have an AK or M4S." You know.
Because like with a rifle, as a rifler IGL, you just go in, maybe you die, right? You die, and now you can focus on really just analyzing the match, the round.
Yeah,
but with an AWPer, you're probably going to die last, or just like second to last. So you don't really have that much time or that much focus on the round itself.
On top of that, the entry fragger and the secondary fragger's whole entire job base is not only to get the kills, but it's to gather information. And it's an IGL. Information is the most vital detail. In AWPer, you really don't gather that much detail. You're really there just to cover your team's back, cover flank, stuff like that.
Yeah, the AWPer feeds off of the info and gets those frags.
Things up, basically.
Yep, you're right. And that's why I'm bringing this back to Valorant. I'm pulling Counter-Strike from Valorant. I'm bringing you guys to Valorant. That's why, I main Sova, I main Viper, the intelligence in Valorant is not the same as it is in Counter-Strike. If I can sit there and intel in Valorant, and if I can make a whole team rotate off a site because I have that intel, if I had like a mid intel and I know they're gonna push A, and I say, hey guys, they're pushing A, so we have a 3-stack A and a 2-stack or 1-stack B, and I have a 1 mid, and then I had that intel off a mid that they're gonna go A. Hey, we can send 2 over to B, and we can have 1 on A, 3 on B, and 1 mid. That's a whole different ballgame than Counter-Strike. You actually physically have to get the intel.
Yeah.
And as an AWPer, that's why I feel like as an AWPer, as a player, you have to physically, as a rifler, you have to physically get that intel. That's why I feel like Valorant's got that edge in the comp.
Yeah, but you could also say that might just not bring as much skill because they can just use that. Whereas CSGO, you actually have to physically get it more.
Yeah, you're right. It does take more skill, and I agree with Mitty. I agree with you on that. It does take more skill to get the intel. You still, majority of the times that they get intel, they're still getting the frag. Am I right or am I wrong? They're still getting the frag, or they're at least lighting the player enough to know, hey, there's 3 pushing up, mid. Hey, let's send 1 mid, and we'll send the rest towards B, and we'll still have 1 on A. We'll still have that intel that they might go under cat. We don't know, but at least we have that intel of a split push. At the same time, in Valorant, yes, you're right. It takes less skill to send an owl drone down mid, and hey, there's 2 going A, there's 3 going B. Yeah, you're right. Yes, that takes more skill. That takes more of a chance to one-on-one. You're right. That's why I feel like Counter-Strike does have the advantage. But Counter-Strike has more of a competitive advantage if you want to play more of a 5v5 than a 4v5 or maybe a 4v4, you know?
Now, actually, speaking of team positions, Sentinels did bring on a coach, did they not, to their CS:GO team? And I don't know about their. I mean, not to their Valorant team, which I don't really know if that's the move. I mean, for CS:GO, that might be be the move. I mean, bringing in a coach for a CS:GO team is that makes sense. But for Valorant, I don't know. I don't think that's really the move right now.
I think it's too early. It's too early for Valorant. The game's barely out.
Yeah.
They barely hit. They're not even 2 years yet.
As a player that I grew from Iron all the way to Diamond, Plat Diamond, I've honestly grown so much in the game. As a comp player like Tens or Shazam, they immediately go into a higher mortal, into Radiant. Honestly, I can't imagine having a coach. Like, a coach is not there to tell you what to do. They have an IGL. They played so many games, so many Masters. They played Masters in Berlin without a coach. And then all of a sudden, they play VCT with a coach. Raucus, yes, amazing pickup. I can't see how he's going to do.
That's like an extra influence on your strats in the
Right.
team. And it's another output that you have to consider. Right, so it's just
So how would you pull that into Valorant, Mitty? Could you have this coach into Valorant?
I just think it's still too early.
Like,
coaches,
could you have this into Counter-Strike? Like, if Raucus came into a Counter-Strike team like Sentinels, like say Sentinels was playing this in Counter-Strike, you think Raucus could come in and say, "Hey, let's do this, and let's do this on Counter-Strike"?
I don't think so.
That's assuming that Ruckus has the experience as not only a player but also sort of like an analyst that can really just help the team. That's under that assumption. But if he doesn't have the experience, right? Like in Valorant, the game's not even out for 2 years yet. There's no way he's going to have that much more knowledge than the players itself, right? So the players probably have more experience and more knowledge about the game than the actual coach. Well, in CS, it's different because the coaches, they probably know a lot more about the game.
Typically coaches have been players that played, former CS. They know everything, and then they come in Counter-Strike and they know Counter-Strike and CS.
Because usually in CS, the coaches have usually more experience than the players, right? That's why the coaches tend to be older. Yeah, except the case of Heroic. Their coach is quite young.
Well, yeah, Heroic is. Honestly, I got to give a standing ovation to Heroic. They're an amazing team, amazing coach. Yes, I honestly feel
onliners.
Yes, I don't feel like they can live up to a LAN, but if they played an online tournament, I really feel like if because of COVID, I feel like with the Omicron variant.
Well, bringing in exists as that analyst was really helpful for them.
You're right.
He played the game, he knows it, and then he can help the coach become better as he is the analyst. So he's like, okay, you might be newer, you might be a lot younger than everybody else, not have as much experience. So I've had this experience, yes, I'm just an analyst, but I can help you learn.
This is how I feel about it. Like, if for example, me and Mitty went in. Mitty was the coach, I was the analyst. Maybe Mitty has a whole insight about Counter-Strike, and maybe I could throw a couple things, and Mitty's like, oh, crap, you might be right. Let's throw this at him. Let's see how the team reacts to this. And that's where I feel like the whole analyst, how they analyze the team, how they view, maybe a mid strat, maybe a B strat, maybe a split strat. Who knows what these teams think? I typically, as I watch Counter-Strike, I typically see a split strat. I see one mid and 2-2. So I see a 2-1-2. But, I don't play enough Counter-Strike as much as I play Valorant. But, if as an analyst, if I sit here and I watch the game, I watch all these teams, an analyst per se doesn't have to be a pro player or somebody that's played pro. They could just sit here and watch the team and know what they do, know how other teams play, as compared to a coach that played pro, knows what's what, and then knows how mechanics are. Analyst per se doesn't have to know how mechanics are. They just have to know how other teams play, how your team plays, and so forth. So that's where I can feel like towards other games like Counter-Strike, Valorant, Crash Royale, New State, all these other games throughout the esports community, an analyst is really important. And I feel like towards CS, it's the number one important towards CS. If you want to build a competitive CS team, you need to have an analyst. You need to have a coach.
Someone who can
I
just
mean,
dedicate their time into analyzing.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
I know
Yeah.
for a fact all the teams that I've built since I became CEO on Aster, we've had an analyst for every single team. Our PUBG mobile roster, we had an analyst. Our Clash Royale roster, they have an analyst. PUBG New Slate, I'm actually acting as the analyst because I have years and years and years of PUBG mobile, experience. I make sure that all of our teams have an analyst because it's a very crucial part of a team. I mean, that the only way a team's really going to improve. I mean, players can improve day by day. They can improve themselves, their mechanics, everything like that. But an analyst can boost that exponentially. They can bring a team to new heights because they've studied the game. They've studied the scene. They know what they're talking about. And so they can go to a player and say, "Here's what you need to do, and here's how to be better." And I know for a fact, our Clash Royale analyst, he will study other teams' rosters, how they play, what the metas are, how to counter them, how they think they're going to counter pick us, and then counter pick us after they counter pick us. And
That's what I want to give I wish I could give a standing ovation to the Crash Royale team. Our Crash Royale team's phenomenal. They're amazing. I don't know if I've said that before. I'm going to say it again. Our Crash Royale mobile team, amazing. EU, Asia, NA, amazing team. Best pickup I've had in a while. Best pickup Vortex is and I myself, Juice, Thunder, Fire, all of us here at Aster Gaming, Aster Esports, we've had it in a while. I'm lost at words what to say. You guys are phenomenal. I really can't even begin where to say.
but no, like I mean, it's because of things like that like I said before, our team has a 92% win rate. I think right now. I think last time I checked, I haven't put it in the most recent matches, but because I have a spreadsheet about that.
Imagine losing only 8%. 8% of your games. If I could sit there and I could play Valorant professionally or tier 1, tier 2, and I could say, hey, I'm only losing 8% of my games. Wow. Holy God. Wow.
Well, no, it better be signed by a team.
Exactly, right?
I mean, when we heard,
imagine being signed by one of the best teams, one of the most comedic, one of the most loving teams here in the NA scene. Because we got Midi, we got Polar, we got Vortex, and we got myself. See?
no, but I mean, think about it, like our PUBG mobile roster back in when the all talent championship was going on. We had the crew challenge like that.
Okay.
The first weekend, we were ranked 7th globally. Our team, let's see, I think we won 7th our first 2 matches. Like we were ranked 7th. Third match we won. Fourth match we placed 5th. Last match we placed 10th.
Even that. Wild Rift. When Wild Rift came out, we were phenomenal in Wild Rift. We were topping 5th, 6th, 7th, top 3 in Wild Rift.
We have our own Wikipedia page. Our Wild Rift team has their own Wikipedia page. We actually have I mean, it's insane. Like if you look up Team Master Wild Rift, our Wikipedia page pops up most of the time. I mean, they were like a lot of our, and it's because of our analysts and our staff. Our staff are extremely, there's 2 things. There's 3. There's a lot of things I take pride in this team, but a lot of it relies on how our team is structured. And with this overhaul, I'm restructuring everything. Obviously, I'm keeping a lot of the core components, but I'm reworking everything down to the bone and building it back even better. But it's our support staff, whether it's our GFX artists, our analysts, our managers, our Discord staff. I'm the owners of the org. I myself, I'm not an owner. I'm a shareholder, but I'm not an owner. I mean, like our owners, the administrators, like everything, like all that, extremely crucial, and it's what makes our team us and our culture. I think our culture is more family based than any other team I know. We really see each other more as a family than really as. I see my players like more than just players for us. I try to I have very limited time, but I still take time out of every single day I have to hop in chat, try to talk to them, hop in VC, talk to them, whatever it is.
Honestly, I'm gonna cut you. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, Vortex. But honestly, as an owner, I speak for Fire, Thunder, Smiley, and Juice as other owners, and Aster Gaming, Aster Esports. I speak for all of us, and I can say you've been a phenomenal pickup. Midi, Polar, Flame. It's been an honor. It's been an honor having you guys on our team. I love it. It's amazing. Like this, there's no other family that I've worked with before. Like, look at Midi. Look how amazing he looks right now. Look at Polar. Look how amazing it looks right now. Like they're just so good. Like I couldn't ask for a better team. Just other than that, like I really want you guys to go check us out and apply for our team. Apply for staff. Apply for Discord staff. Apply for content creation. Apply whatever in your heart desires. Apply for it. I promise you, I will physically myself. I work 90 hours a week. I promise you myself, I will sit down and look at your application because I want to take my time out of my day and see how amazing you people are out there. I feel like there's an amazing community out there. I feel like there's amazing staff out there. I feel like every one of you guys on this team and this family, whether you be community, whether you just be first time listeners, you all are amazing. I mean, imagine you're just sitting here listening to 4 guys talk. Like, what?
It's 5 guys. It's 4.
Five. Well,
It was 5.
It was Flame. It was Flame. But
I miss him already.
I already missed
Damn.
Flame.
I missed him, bro.
I miss
Come on,
Flame.
man. You're my second bromance. Come on.
Miss Flame.
I miss Flame.
What's that?
Only if we could replace Fatal with Flame. What a shame.
Yeah,
What a
the
shame.
podcast would be carried by Fatal. Imagine.
What do you mean, carried?
No, Middy's the one carrying today, obviously.
Maybe honestly,
You're
Mitty
right
is
now.
carrying today. I give it to him.
His looks are just.
Polar.
Just the turtleneck. I bet you want to choke him with that.
I'm hanging here, bro. Maybe don't wear that if you're choking your neck. Maybe wear a different shirt, bro.
But
It's
overall,
cold, man.
overall, I think this is a decent podcast. Overall, I think in the last 6 podcasts that we have, I
6?
feel like this is
6.
This is-
This is our 4th.
this is
This is
6, 4th.
This is our 4th
Fourth?
podcast.
Oh.
Yeah. Because we had one pre-break before I took my break. Then we had the podcast immediately after I took my break, and then we had this last podcast that we talked on where we
This one, yeah, you're
this
right.
is our
You're right.
fourth.
You're right. No, I take it back. Listen. I've recorded other podcasts for other people, and I forget. I'm old.
You're ahead of yourself. You're ahead of yourself, buddy.
I'm 25, and I'm old.
What's unique
I
about
got
this?
an old man.
What's unique about this podcast, though, is for those that are listening on Spotify, this podcast is recorded as well for video. So this one, the YouTube version, will have actually our video version on our team's YouTube. But make sure, if you're on YouTube right now, make sure to listen to our Spotify podcast because we are sponsored by Spotify now. So the more, they monetize our podcasts. So please make us money so that way we can pay our players better.
Give us money.
Give us money.
I want payment.
I got you. Thank you, Spotify, for sponsoring this podcast. Yeah, you're amazing. I love you all. Thank you for Anchor. You can download Anchor at www.
Anchor.fm. Anchor.fm.
Anchor.fm. Honestly, Anchor, Spotify, they're amazing. I would use them if I was running my own podcast by myself. They're amazing. Vortex, they're amazing.
They're making their own music as well. If you want to make your own music, I recommend Spotify.
Yes, honestly.
Soundtrack. I think that's what it's called.
But
recommend.
We can do
honestly, after this podcast, I feel like for the 5th podcast, maybe we should do. I don't know. Maybe we should hint. I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna drop a hint on this podcast. Maybe we should drop Aster rebrand. Are we doing a rebrand? I don't know.
drop what?
Check us out. Check us out on Org Overhaul on the 22nd of January.
Doing a lot of it.
Wonder what that is. I wonder what that is.
Maybe we're doing a live podcast. I don't know. Maybe you'll hear us here on Discord live. Maybe you might do a live podcast. I don't know. Check us out.
I don't know. Maybe we're gonna make a new server. I don't know.
Maybe Vortex drop our Discord link. Maybe we might be doing a live Discord podcast.
Maybe we make a CS team. Maybe we have an Aster CS team.
No, but
We're all making new Discords. Leave this.
in all seriousness, our 5th podcast will be dropped the morning of, very early morning of our org overhaul. And as we said in the last podcast before, every absolute thing that's going to be going into the org overhaul is going to be dropped in that podcast. So we'll be launching org overhaul mid-afternoon for the United States. So early morning APAC, midnight-ish for EU. But we might actually
Oh,
do
we
it.
hear.
We might be doing it a little bit earlier, and that just so our EU folks can tune in. But no, it's we're gonna everything's gonna be in that podcast. Like and I'm gonna make sure that this overhaul is gonna be. I know. I think. I shared my bank. I don't know if I shared my bank statement with you, Fatal, but in the past month, I've already spent like 2.4K on this org overhaul. I mean, we're throwing it. We're throwing in everything into this. There's new merch, we're pairing up with multiple design studios, getting this stuff.
We going down hard, bro.
I mean, we have the people that are doing our merch are the same people that have done, Envies, SKs, T1s, Phase. We're going all in on this, and
merch, baby.
It's my pleasure to bring this to not only my team but the community. And like I said, you're just gonna. I can't say anymore. You're just gonna have to see the rest.
Check us out on January 22nd. Well, we may not be recording live in Discord. I don't know. Check us out. We're gonna be here on the 22nd.
Yep.
If you're not here, you're gonna be square because you're gonna be late.
No, but you'll actually be able to see all of the content on January 22nd at our headquarters Discord server at discord.gg/Aster, or you can actually check out all of our content, all of our giveaways, stats, everything, medals, anything you really want as well at our Twitter at Aster Esports.
Talk to us, say hello. Maybe say hello back.
Maybe say hello.
I'll greet you back.
You can see us. You can see us ratioing leagues. Us dropping comments on leagues, and us getting more likes and retweets on the actual league itself.
All I gotta say is at the end of this video, at the end of this podcast, please, for the love of God, take 5 minutes of your time. Don't do that. 5 minutes of your time, please. I don't know if you can see me one-on-one. Please take 5 minutes of your time and apply Discord membership application. Whatever you got to do, just apply for whatever and Discord.
Man's this close to just leaving right now. He's this close to just he's out. He's done. He's over.
He's always out of it.
He's
disappearing. No longer here.
Can we take a second? Can we take a second so I can record that? We're gonna edit that out.
No, we're leaving that in. No, Chief.
Exactly. Fatal. Yeah.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Take 5 minutes of your time and go into Discord and apply for server membership, players, content creation system. I just want to see your beautiful self in this team. That's all I want. You guys are amazing out in the community. I want every single one of you guys in our team.
Yeah, actually, I think
every single one of them.
I mean,
it's a little too much.
Actually,
I want to have more bromances. Please come.
No, but on a serious note, though, I mean, we just launched Aster last year, and I think I'm looking at the current player and staff roster, and we're looking at about 53 people. 53. We have 53 people that work and play under us right now, in under a year. We haven't even hit our 1-year anniversary yet. And with this org overhaul, we're bringing in content creators and staff and players and filling positions and stuff like that. I mean, I'm just glad, that I'm able to spearhead this, and I'm glad that we're growing at the rate we are. I'm proud. I think I can speak for the rest of our staff. They're proud for working under the org that's actually trying to better itself. Same for the players, but besides that, though, I think besides that, though, I think it's a pretty solid podcast. And I think I'd like to thank everybody that's either tuning in to Spotify or YouTube. Realistically, you should watch both, because if you watch the YouTube one, you can see our reactions, you can see us in real life, and if you watch the Spotify, you can make us money. Just saying, money. I mean,
money. We need money. We're broke. Please help.
I am broke.
If we had,
they don't have a paid me so long. Please help.
Imagine having a blackout, window, and then having that,
No, those are blinds, dummy.
Those are windows. Those are windows.
No, but realistically, if we had the budget, if we had 1% of the budget that Cloud9 has, we'd be set. I
yeah.
Honestly, with my big brain and Vortex's big brain and Mitty's big brain and Polar's big brain,
My fat
Oh, God,
neck.
bro.
Mitty does have a fat neck. He's got an
Right.
amazing neck. All right, everybody have a great night. We loved having you here, Mitty. Amazing podcast, Polar. Amazing podcast, Vortex. Amazing podcast. This is Fatal signing out. Have a good night.